James Kaufman, World News Report. Today is August 17th, 2023, 4 p.m. Central here in the U.S. God bless you and yours no matter where you are in the world. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell for critical future updates. You're looking at Earth's electromagnetic shield. It's been hit pretty hard today. The activity started really around 1600 UTC time. That translates to 11 a.m. this morning. Now, that signature seemed to increase. We see electromagnetic shield spikes that look like they go up or exceed 600 and 700 hertz. So this was quite intense. It does look like this has subsided and has subsided around 20 UTC time or right about 2 p.m. in the afternoon. So we had about 4 hours of heavy electromagnetic disturbances to our field. As we all know, this usually means the Schumann resonance went off the hook. Let's take a look. And wouldn't you know it, folks, right about 1600 UTC time, look at the geophones getting hit here, right through 1800 and right through 20. Looks like we are subsiding. These are off the chart. These charts end at 105 hertz. There's really no telling how high these went. Oh, again, we can see those geophone hits, and we also see that they are tapering off. Now, I already know what the agitator is, but we're going to go through some of the basics and find out why the Schumann resonance has been spiking stronger and stronger every year since 2017, when it was finally measured over 37 hertz. Remember, these spikes shoot right through 105 hertz, and we've even had spikes that shoot through 200 hertz most recently. Looking at a 6-day comparison of our Schumann resonance, it started its activity about 6 days ago when the solar activity ceased, and I'm afraid that allows our magnetosphere to start depleting again. It seems to strengthen when we have solar activity. Now, we see no specific pattern, although a lot of the activity is during this time. Most of the day yesterday we saw activity, and today we saw activity, but it was later in the day than usual. Now, all of this activity had the same agitator, thunderstorms over the modeling station in Italy. Every time you see one of these spikes off the charts here end at 50 hertz, because after all, when they put the actual model together, they had never seen a spike over 37 hertz on Schumann resonance. Well, that ship has long sailed, and I believe that we're getting stronger and stronger Schumann resonance spikes as our magnetosphere collapses, perhaps due to the magnetic pole flip, and the actual cavity of our atmosphere actually is getting smaller and imploding. Now, these are our geophone strips. It looks like we have all 4 hours, and we can see it tapering off up to about 20 UTC time. Now, we have gone slightly over that. We're in the 21st hour of the day, UTC time. But this is about right as far as the tapering of the Schumann resonance and the geophone hits. Each line is an hour of geophone information cut up into 15-minute increments. And what we're seeing here is the 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th 100 UTC times, finishing off at exactly 20 UTC. Now, it looks like this was not our first situation of the day, and we did see on the 6-day comparison that we had some activity earlier in the day, really last night. This was going to be around 4 a.m. to about 5 or 6 a.m. So we did have another Schumann resonance spike at that time. We've seen some other activity, but we see significant activity starting at exactly when I said, at 1600 UTC time and ending right about now, 20 UTC time, although we still are seeing some Schumann resonance activity. Now, let's look for an agitator. Some people say CERN is an agitator. Well, that's been down for months after a leak They're expecting to get it back online in early September, per the notes here. This is CERN's Large Hadron Collider, and I believe that this is not the cause and never is the cause, but we'll keep that in play. Next, we'll take a look at space weather impacts. Well, we have a space weather impact, a geomagnetic disturbance, over the last 3 hours on the Boulder KP index. The rest of them show no activity, solar weather-wise, whatsoever. So there is a possibility that that was an agitator, but that's not what I think the agitator was. All right, moving to looking at lightning as an agitator. That seems to be the common element here. We do have a lightning storm that passed over the modeling station. You can see all the lightning flashes around the entire area. We've been seeing lightning storms over this modeling station for some time. We'll zoom in and take a look at that station currently. Should be right here, right on the tail of the thunderstorm here. There's the modeling station there, and you can see what just passed by and why it just stopped. This is the last 15 minutes you're seeing right here. We'll kind of let that play over one more time so you can see exactly how that started at 1600. All this moved through and ended at 20 UTC time. The agitator was this thunder and lightning storm here that passed over. Pulling up the lightning hits within just the last hour, you can see that all of these, in almost every direction, all of this area was covered in lightning storms, period. You can't get any more covered than that. There is our actual modeling station. There is the answer to the agitator that took 4 hours to pass through. So to make it easy for everyone to understand, these huge spikes are actually lightning bouncing off of a much lower part of our atmosphere called the D region, when they used to go through the D region and bounce off the E or F region, returning to the geophones and lighting them up. So we're seeing the lightning return from a much lower level and hit the geophones much harder. Now, if our atmosphere continues to collapse, I'm not quite sure where this will go. I would assume this has to do with the magnetic pole shift that started to really increase intensity in around 2017. Those poles look like they're going to meet somewhere in Indonesia in the next couple of years. I'm not quite sure what happens when a negative hits a positive and how they would actually reverse in polarity and continue. I thought that the poles would flip in the opposite direction when in fact they're going to meet together. With that said, let me know if this is affecting you. I know a lot of people are affected by these Schumann resonance spikes. Let me know if you have, well, physical or mental effects or both, and let me know what those are. God bless you guys. Please share, subscribe, and always remember that anything's possible in Bizarro World.